Sadistic Embodiment, off of a Skeletal Domain. It's a mouthful. It's Cannibal Corpse, though. Skeletal Domain, slated to come out September the 16th. So there's two reactions that you can have to a new Cannibal Corpse track. The first one's a little something like this. Oh, there's a new Cannibal Corpse track out. Cool. I wonder what that sounds like. Meanwhile, the other one is a little something like, Cannibal Corpse! Oh my god! So no matter which side of the coin that you really fell under whenever you got your first listen to this track, or even if you haven't listened to it yet, as it came out today, well, we need to talk about it together. Something that we need to do. Because this is an exciting moment for metal. This is an exciting moment for the year in metal 2014, because in September we're going to have a new album from one of the true patriarchs of the death metal genre. One that definitely has helped cement its popularity not only among metal fans, but also has definitely helped bring it to the limelight. And we all know some of the reasons for that. For those who don't, there's definitely history that can be read about in various places. But we're here to talk about the song. Sadistic Embodiment is a track that's actually, more focused on the low end, something that's very bass heavy whenever it starts. And I don't mean the bass that you hear at, the nightclub or rave that you just went to last Friday night, or that you heard somebody talk about that you have absolutely no desire to go to. No, we're instead talking about the bass. Something that really illuminated and made Torture, their last album, really very, very powerful. Something that's always been kind of a strength of theirs, however, one that was certainly illuminated and certainly made a lot brighter off of Torture. And was really aided in making Torture a very strong album 2 years ago. And let's face it, 2 years ago, we definitely needed a strong death metal release from one of the patriarchs after the Morbid Angel fiasco from 2011. So it was definitely a sight for sore eyes, a breath of fresh air. But in all honesty, the previous album before that wasn't that bad either. Kill wasn't that bad. But now we're getting into ancient history. This song really isn't going to wow you or blow you away. It's not something that's necessarily going to be a technical masterpiece that's going to leave your jaw dropped. This is really not its design either. This is something where Cannibal Corpse doesn't necessarily, or isn't necessarily, looking at the success of Torture and seeing it as, man, we have lofty expectations for this disc. They've been at it for too long. This is something where they already know what they're going to do. They know what's going to happen whenever they go into the studio. Their writing process isn't going to shift up just because Torture, ended up on the, Billboard Top 20. That's not something that really is all of that, necessary to give the added pressure to them. Instead, they're just going to go into the studio and write kick-ass death metal. That's all that they need to do. That's their primary source of entertainment. Not to mention work, but, well, that goes without saying. Like I said, this track is definitely not something that moves mountains. It's not one that's going to really set your world on fire. It's something that's a very basic, song structure, and doesn't really deviate all that much. There's a minor technical, very sweep-friendly guitar solo that, takes up about 10 seconds of your time near the latter portion of this 3-minute and 20-second long track. And that's about it. There's not much to really report about it. This is certainly a song that, really for the death metal faithful, the Cannibal Corpse fans, and people that just really like the old-fashioned, very in-your-face, very punch-to-the-face approach that Cannibal Corpse and some of the other founders of the death metal genre were really able to provide, well, they're going to enjoy this, principally because it's something that stays true to the roots. They don't necessarily have to, finagle and fondle with other sub-genres of metal, such as, technical death metal, or progressive death metal, or technical progressive mathcore death metal, in order to, really set themselves apart. Instead, they're setting themselves apart by the one thing that set them apart to begin with, and that was the fact that they were, a raw, in-your-face death metal band that has been banned from, performing in some places based around, some of their songs and basically people just being dumb. So yeah, for those people that perhaps look at this song and don't see it as all of that much, just remember that in September we're going to have, probably another 10 or 11 tracks that's going to have the opportunity to kick your face in and, really give you something a lot more positive to talk about. But for those that really enjoy this track, for those that really felt and enjoyed that direct approach and felt that it definitely rekindled the Cannibal Corpse spirit inside your heart here in 2014, then good. That's really great, because I dug it. I thought it was a pretty good track. Man, the second half of this year, which we're going to tackle in another video very, very soon, it's looking pretty good. got a couple of keynote releases. One that was pushed from the first half of the year in June to the second half in August, but I'll talk about Opeth whenever it happens. But now a Cannibal Corpse album. Man. And we're going to be talking about a Judas Priest album here shortly. It's crazy. But it definitely just shows you that 2014 definitely has been, maybe quietly, a very good year in heavy metal. But with this new Cannibal Corpse track, did you listen to it? What do you think about it? Are you excited about the new album coming out September the 16th? What are your impressions? My impression is a very positive one. While I don't think this is going to be the best track on the album, in fact I think far from it, I think it's still promising in the fact that I enjoy this track enough that I feel that the other tracks are going to blow me away. I think that gives it a strong representation that perhaps, whenever a Skeletal Domain comes out, it's going to be one that's going to easily, find itself on the top 35 list, or 40, or however the fuck many I decide to do this year. What do you think? That's what I want to know. Let me know in the comments below. There will also be a link to the song for all of those who didn't get a chance to hear it. Take care.